Here at 9:02, some areas still seeing some wet roadways out there, and we are in store for more rain. Our Bekah Birdsall joining us here in studio now. And I guess I appreciated the little bit of a break for the drive heading in, Bekah.
Yeah, it was almost like the first morning that we didn't have active rain falling.
It's definitely muggy out there.
definitely humid, and that's going to stick with us, especially as we go later in the day as well. But rain chances overall are going to be pretty low as we go into the Charlotte Metro later today. We'll have a much better chance to see some scattered activity for the mountains and foothills. And then towards the end of the work week, a cold front is going to sink down to the south. As it does so, it's going to bring minimal rain chances going into Thursday and really drying off nicely for Friday. It is short-lived because we've got rain chances right back in the forecast as we go into your Saturday, but not going to be a washout of a weekend. Okay, stat of the day. Meteorological spring runs from March all the way through the end of May. So we've got the final days of May coming over the next couple of days. So here's some of the early stats. We are the #1 warmest with an average temperature of 64.5. It's also the driest spring since 2006. The total amount of rainfall that we have picked up from March, April, and of course May, a little over 7 inches. So it's certainly been warm and it's been dry, but it's been really rainy over the past 6 days. We're continuing that rain streak. We have accumulated so far 2 3/4 of an inch with a total monthly around 4 3/4. So we are going to be looking at the potential of breaking this rain streak later today, just because that scattered activity is going to be further up towards the mountains. We could see a rogue shower or two make it here on the metro, but overall much lower rain chances, and we'll continue those lower rain chances all the way until Saturday. So over the next 7 days, again today we'll be watching for more scattered activity up towards the high country, and then that goes down to a 20% chance both Thursday and Friday behind that cold front, going right back up for Saturday as that cold front stalls down to the south. And then by Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, starting to see a drying trend for us as we go into that first full week of June. So this month of May is going to be our first month that features above average rainfall since last August. That's 8 months ago. So we certainly could use it. And right now we're about 2 inches above normal for the month of May. But for a yearly departure, it's still around 6 inches. Doppler radar, nothing to track at the moment. We've got a mix of sunshine and clouds. It is quite muggy out there, even though it's not raining. Now we've got more rain off towards the west, tracking some showers, even some thunderstorms moving out of Georgia into upstate South Carolina. Now we're going to be looking for that to make a run as we approach the next couple of hours up towards the mountains and foothills. Notice on our futurecast, that's where that activity pops up right at lunchtime. And a couple of these might make it into the Charlotte Metro later in on the day, but we'll also be looking not only the potential at some heavy rain, but of course some lightning, but some gusty winds. We've got an isolated strong storm possible and a low-end severe weather threat, again, especially up towards those higher elevations north and west of the Charlotte Metro. By the time we get into Thursday morning, staying mostly dry, and then here comes those afternoon hours, minimal rain chances as that cold front actually pushes through. A couple of us will get in on some downpours, but overall it's not going to be much. There is also going to be a chance, low end chance for some flooding as well, just kind of what we've been talking about over the past couple of days. The areas that have seen some real soakers over the past week, anywhere from 3 to even 5 inches of rainfall, an additional 1 to 2 inches of rain on top of that. Again, just where the heaviest downpours set up could lead to some localized flooding, a rise in stream and creeks, and of course some ponding out on the roads. Like I mentioned, also a low-end severe weather threat as well. It's isolated, but damaging wind gusts upwards of 50 to 60 miles per hour will also be possible. It is going to be quite warm over the coming days, middle 80s today, but we get into the upper 80s by the time we get to Thursday. It is very, very muggy out there. That means there is going to be a heat index value each and every day. A push of some drier air come Friday, but we still have cloud cover across much of the region. It's not going to feel as sticky. Highs going down into the lower 80s, but as that cold front stalls, we've got yet more rain on the way going into your Saturday, but more of a split weekend. I'd say if you have any outdoor plans, maybe you can move them into Sunday. More of that scattered shower activity for Saturday, highs upper 70s, but Sunday bringing at least a mix of sun and clouds with highs in the middle 70s. Outside now, 71 in Charlotte, 73 over towards Chirac, and then of course factoring in the heat index already. This is something that we'll be watching, especially as we go later in the afternoon, as we are going to be warming up. Get a chance for a couple of showers today. It's not going to be much, not in everyone's backyard. Better chance up towards the mountains in this Jerry Hunt Supercenter 7-day. So staying pretty warm in the 80s, probably peaking on Thursday with highs close to 90 degrees in many spots, if not feeling like the 90s. And then as we end out the last final days of May, it's going to be a cooler end to spring, middle 70s by the time we get into the weekend, and then staying cooler than average for this time of year as we approach that first full week of June, which is the start of meteorological summer. And it's not necessarily going to be feeling like summer, but I am okay with that because we also dry off for next week as we start off June, and we'll have temperatures in the 70s and 80s.
70, okay. Do you think we're going to stay on this humid side?
For the next couple of days, yes, but next week I think it could actually feel quite nice, especially compared to what we have been seeing. It is not expected to be as humid and tropical as what it has been.
Yeah, because not quite ready for all of the
summer heat.
Humidity
the humidity just kind of hit you over the head. We were good, and all of a sudden it was hot tub, like outside. You know what I mean?
Right.
We didn't get that
We
nice
need to
gradual,
ease into it.
You know.
Yeah, we didn't have a nice transition into it,
didn't.
and no one wants summer to start early.
Right. Brick wall.
We're getting.
That's what we got.
Oh, what do we have?
A brick wall of humidity.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
It does.
Totally.
Yeah.
It hits you. It hits you hard. So hopefully next week, looking at some improvements. Not a lot of rain chances, which maybe not as great for the drought monitor. But we've got a lot of good soakers in the past week, so we'll take any more that we can get.
All right.
Through Saturday.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Thank you, Becca. And I know a lot of kids are wrapping up like this last week and a half of school, so they'll be ready to
They're
get
itching to
outside
go.
and
Yeah,
play and jump in the
absolutely.
pool and do all the things.
Yes.
All right. Bekah Birdsall here. We will be right back. You're watching Live Impact News on your WCNC Charlotte app.